I speak? Good boy!
C'est la vie. Hi guys! Welcome back. I hope you are all doing well. It's just raining outside right now and it's one of those days where it's super cold and you want to curl up at home and nan. But then I realized that I had my packages. My packages. I opened them already. It's very exciting. Ta-da! I'm really happy that you are finally seeing me through my new gear. But I have really been wanting to upgrade the stuff that I had for a while now, and I'm really happy that you are seeing me through literally a new lens. Hopefully this video comes out alright. Recently I've been good, constantly getting stuff out, and yeah, for sure, like not 100% of these things are going to be absolutely transcendent and immaculate. Like a lot of it is about practice. Now I've got an even better tool to practice with, so I'm super grateful that you are joining me again and giving me another opportunity to share my life with you and tell you things that have been working for me. Recently I've been looking back on the things that I've been doing to put myself in a position where I'm not as stagnant in terms of my body and also what's going on up here. A state of flow is something that a lot of productivity and self-development people talk about. Like how once you sort of get in the zone and you are able to keep doing the work that you do and produce great work that you're happy with, it's something that you need to kind of build yourself up to. You need to put a lot of things in place to make sure that your mind is primed to enter that state. The first thing that I really like to do is pacing myself, especially if I've been stuck at a desk for a really long time. A lot of people enjoy just completely disconnecting and not doing much at all, like vegging out for however long they want to take a break for. I personally like doing something that involves my body and kind of my breath in a way. I hope this doesn't sound too woo but I do enjoy doing a little bit of yoga, just getting a little bit of a stretch in during my short little break. That really helps me cope with anxiety too, because once I really get into work that I do, I start to see a lot more ways it can sort of escalate and sort of continue to grow. I see a lot of ways to improve. Sometimes that can feel very overwhelming and like everything's sort of caving in. Doing yoga really helps me come back into the present moment. Another thing that I really like to do is making sure that I reset my space sometime during the day. A lot of productivity gurus also talk about how you should reset your space either at the start or the end of your day. So for example, making your bed or making sure that you tidy up your kitchen before you go to bed, so that once you wake up the next morning, you're not confronted with a pile of dirty dishes and you start off your morning feeling like, oh, I have to catch up on stuff. So this can be just putting dishes away that have already dried up or giving the house a little bit of a vacuum. I do share my home and I understand that some of you may not have the luxury of doing that, but I think what you can take away is trying to make your space feel as personal as possible. Set your space up in such a way where you are not confronted with more distractions and more things to take care of. In terms of what's going on up here, I really like to do this thing called brain dumping. I actually write down everything that's going on in my head on either a piece of paper, or if I'm on my laptop, I just smash it out. Little ways to put pockets of information out into the world. Kind of like that meditation thing where if you find yourself getting distracted while trying to enter that state of flow, you get up and you write whatever you're thinking about on a piece of paper so that you know you can return to it. I want to stop being paralyzed by inaction. I'm writing something that's causing me to go back to thought pattern out onto a piece of paper so I know I can come back to it later and everything will be okay. Another thing that I really enjoy to help shake off that stagnating energy that I tend to get because I am a rock. Make the effort to get out more, but with sincerity. There is a certain obligation to reconnect with people on a fairly regular basis. I'm all for it. I just don't think it's appropriate when we put ourselves in that position where we are giving our energy and we aren't really getting fulfilled from it, because if that's the case, there's probably a pretty decent chance that they aren't really getting that much from you either. This doesn't mean that I'm fake, positive, toxic, happy. It's more of me being present, grounded, rather than me seeing someone once a week and being tired half the time. We do not need to feel the pressure of getting out and doing stuff all the time with other people just because it's something that's deemed socially appropriate. If you're an extrovert and you function much better with that kind of flow going on in your life, all like good on you, all for it. But if you are a pebble like me and you know that you need your time to regenerate your social manner, just give yourself that kindness. Even if you want to go out alone, enjoy a movie by yourself, enjoy a long walk, or go to gallery by yourself. These are all things that give to us so that we can continue giving to other people. Thing that I've been doing that's also been helping me with staying out of a rut, making a more active effort to connect with my creativity. It's really rewarding to see things come into fruition, like being able to afford the stuff that we want to afford. But how are we feeling when we are able to afford the things that we want to afford and live the lives that we want to live? This is my personal opinion. I don't know if it's appropriate or entitled. I wouldn't really want to live above my means and not be happy. And I'm sure a lot of you would agree with me. But if we take a step back and look at how we are organizing our lives and prioritizing our time, it kind of says something else. I'm making the time and the effort to go to places where I know will nurture my soul. I really enjoy hiding out in bookstores. Secondhand bookstores are even better. Kindles and ebooks are great. Audiobooks are a fantastic resource too for people that can't really bring themselves to sit down and go through a 300-page book. There is a certain magic that cannot be replaced when you are holding an actual book in your hands, and even better if it's an older book with its own musk and its own personality. Even talking about it right now is just making me so happy. Being immersed in a different universe or in a different narrative is so important in helping us get that flexibility of our minds. Taking a trip down to the galleries, taking a trip down to any sort of creative space, and really taking my time to look at the different pieces and the different voices that are speaking is a practice that also really helps connect with a lot more sincerity and a much more genuine side of humans. With any sort of work that demands hours and days and even months of your time, you are putting so much of your vulnerability into the piece. And to have that on display in public for 8 hours for a month, that's insane. There's so much to take from these displays of raw human nature and emotion. I think a lot of us struggle with connecting to that part of ourselves. You can see that that's not the part that, you know, brings home the money or is the responsible part of you. It's still part of you. I don't think that neglecting that is going to help us become healthier, happier people in any way. So it's all about balance, right? I do believe in creating more than you consume. It's damn well near impossible to do that. That's a rule of thumb that I really like to use to sort of curate and take stock of how I spend my time. Imagine if you were making something that you are passionate about on TikTok, and how long that would take versus how long you were actually spending looking at other people doing all those things on TikTok. This is not me saying that you need to get out there and you need to create for the sake of creating. We spend so much of our time consuming all these different types of information and from all these different mediums on a daily basis. It's really draining if you think about it. It's just little things like that chip away at us if we do let it. I hope this video gave you a little bit more to think about. I cannot wait to share more stuff now that I have something that isn't a potato. I feel really awkward asking you to comment and like and stuff. But let's try. Nah. You have been bombarded by literally everyone else on this space to support their channel. If you wanted to see this mess, you already know what to do. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a lovely week wherever you are. I will see you guys soon.